All right, welcome back. Whitlock and Wiley, TJ Houshmandzadeh and Sean Merriman are back. Let's return to Dallas, where Jerry Jones and the Cowboys are trying to finish a massive new deal with Dak Prescott, with one for Amari Cooper expected to follow. Meanwhile, Ezekiel Elliott is considering a holdout to get a new deal for himself, and reportedly negotiations with Zeke could go sideways quickly. Question here is, will money issues damage the chemistry inside the Cowboys locker room? And I could definitely see that sidetracking this football team and being an issue. I think we saw it last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, Le'Veon Bell sat out the entire season. AB had some issues over money, and the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't make the playoffs. I could see it being an issue in Dallas.
Yeah, I don't see it in Dallas because these are young players who are outperforming their deals, so they know the future is bright. All they got to do is just keep walking to the sun. Just keep walking, keep balling, keep doing what you're doing. I remember when I was in this same situation, I was like, I'm about a year away from getting a deal. And I remember they went to my teammate and they gave him a restructured deal. And I said, don't take it, man. We're a year away. Just wait. He's like, nah, man, it's too much money. I'm killing it if I get this deal. I said, but it's still under what you're going to get if you wait a year. And the thing about it is, if you're 23 years old, I did this calculation. I was like, I made 23 years of my life. 21 of them I was broke. Now I got 2 years, I got a little money, but boy, in a year, it's coming. I'm patient in those moments. I think your mindset is different, as you said yesterday. When you made your money, you either get chill, like, oh, go ahead, Junior say out of me. Go ahead, make more money than me. I don't care if you're not better than me. Or you get greedy because, like, I want to eat too if they're giving it all to these young bucks who don't deserve it. This young group is going to stay together, and they're just going to keep walking to their money.
You know, I think because of Ezekiel Elliott's off-the-field stuff that he's been having, there shouldn't be a problem. If he, kind of kept his nose clean, he didn't have those problems, then, yeah, I would be walking in the locker room saying, you give Dak $32 million and I'm making, what, $3 or $4 million, whatever he's making this year? Okay, I'm trying to get paid. I'm the best player on the team and I want to get paid. But now he's kind of shot himself in the foot. He's kind of done he's done himself in. So he can't go and ask for the money right now. Even though he probably does deserve it, he can't particularly go upstairs and knock on Jerry Jones' door right now. If he wait a year, no problems, anything like that, and they did give Dak that $32 million that they're talking about giving him, then now it becomes a big problem.
It's not going to be a problem. If Ezekiel Elliott holds out, that can be a problem, and it's about money, but that could be a problem for the team because it could affect the performance. It's what you said, they're young, but what happens is this. If guys get deals before camp, the guys that didn't get the deals are going to be like, man, I wonder when mine's coming. Like, you're going to get on the phone with your parents or your brother, your agent, like, bro, they just signed Amari Cooper, Byron Jones. You think I'm going to get mine? What, have you talking to him? And so it will affect them, but you just got to go play because you're young. If you don't have a career in injury, which pretty much that's really non-existent nowadays, you're going to get your money eventually. You just have to bide your time. But if Ezekiel Elliott holds out, it's going to affect the locker room because it's going to affect the performance of the team.
I just think this is a very unique situation because of Dak. We've seen quarterbacks get overpaid, generally speaking, leaving their team. I remember years ago, Scott Mitchell had a couple good games in Miami and then went to Detroit and got paid. And who's Matt Flynn or whatever that flamed out with the Green Bay Packers?
Went to Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle or wherever flamed out.
Yeah.
We've seen, but when a guy who some people in the locker room think he don't really deserve it gets overpaid on his current team, I just think, and again, we got a bunch of young guys that haven't made a bunch of money and a bunch of talented guys. I just think that envy sets off in a locker room, and it can be an issue.
You made an interesting point, and I don't have the reference of the guy who stayed overpaid, and Cass was like, really? But I do know what you said about the holdout. If Zeke holds out, Dak is going to lose his mind because, one, it
affects his performance.
I just got overpaid, and now I need you, and you're not there. I see how that will untangle.
But how can he? If you're the one requesting a $30+ million a year contract, why are you worried about Zeke? I never. Did you see
Because
Aaron?
you
Did see Aaron
benefit from
Rodgers?
him being behind you.
Yeah, oh, I get that, but Aaron Rodgers, no running back, no big wide receiver. Did you see him coming out and complaining? Well, hey, we need a running back. If you're going to sit there, if you're Dak Prescott and you're asking for a $32 million contract, you don't care. You know what I mean? It's not as important because you're asking for Aaron Rodgers type of contract.
You care, but you want to get yours.
I think that the challenge will be issued to Dak, and he may accept it. I'm not saying which way he lands. Either he's going to freak out mentally, play it off for us, because no Zeke, or he's going to be like, oh, now I can show y'all I ain't overpaid. No Zeke, and I still go make this offense roll. That's a great challenge to answer.
And I think there's a lot of defensive coordinators who are going to cut off this little tape and send it to Dak Prescott and say, listen to Marcellus. Go out and prove you don't need Zeke. Go out and put it all on your shoulders and do more, Dak.
That's what we want, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to send a limo.
Limo.
To make sure Dak shows up and to make sure Zeke stays home.
Yeah.
And Dak, you go out and show him.
Right.
Throw the ball 40, 50 times.
Yeah.
And I'm just, because I'm sitting here trying to beat my brains, trying to think of the kind of average quarterback who got overpaid. Because again, Washington wouldn't do it with Kirk Cousins.
Right.
They just refused. Franchise, we're not going to do it because they wanted to avoid that little, not overpaid.
Yeah. Part.
And it
Jalen
blew up.
Ramsey, they basically...
And it blew up the team.
Did it blow up the team, or he just wasn't good?
Because they went really far, and then the next year it was just like...
But the whole defense hated them.
But
They did.
And that was their excuse.
And what
Dak
made it worse, he
Prescott is
never
way
did
better than
anything.
Blake
And
Bortles.
that's the same thing with Dak Prescott. We've already seen Dak Prescott at his best, in my opinion. They already seen him plateau. They know what they have.
What?
I'm just saying,
Sean,
Hey.
plateau?
No, I'm just saying,
You don't remember young Russell Wilson?
No.
Young Russell Wilson?
I'm just
Young
saying,
Ben Roethlisberger?
you can get better, you can get smarter, you can make better decisions. But I think the Dallas Cowboys already know that Dak Prescott is not going to be an elite.
Man, we gotta say these. We gotta say these Clippers.
Elite. So why would if I'm them? Why would I offer $32 million right now?
When you say elite, there's very few that are elite.
But you're about to pay him elite money.
Young
That's what I'm saying.
Roethlisberger wasn't elite, and he
money?
turned into elite. Young Russell Wilson wasn't
Here we go
elite,
again.
but he...
You just put
See?
Dak Prescott in the same sentence with Ben Roethlisberger. Coming up,
Trajectory.
we'll give you our approval ratings for Darnell. Uncle Jimmy will have some advice for Darnell's first trip to Las Vegas.
Plateau?